everyone. I hope you guys are all staying safe and healthy. And speaking of healthy, today I'm just going to speak with you really quickly about keeping your pantry stocked full of healthy foods and some good staples to make it easy for you to determine what you want to cook when it comes time for dinner or even lunch or even breakfast. So some of the things I like to stock my pantry with are starchy foods, so sprouted grain, breads or tortillas. These guys are really nice to stuff a lot of veggies and beans in. They're a great vessel for that. Some healthy crackers, and I like to put my potatoes, onions, and garlic inside my pantry. You want to keep those guys in a cool, dark place. And these are a huge staple in my cooking, so I make sure I have quite a few of those. When it comes to breakfast, of course, I'm going to speak about steel cut oats because I'm a dietitian, right? But these guys are really great to have on hand. You can cook them the traditional way. You can get the quick, fast steel cut oats to cook, or you can toss them in a little jar and do overnight oats as well. Heat them up and you can have them warm as well, no big deal. I like to have different pastas in my pantry as well. These guys are pretty healthy for you. I really like the chickpea pasta. There's edamame, there's lentil, there's black bean. Whole wheat is nice too. Not a big fan, of course, of the traditional pasta just because it doesn't have a lot of nutrient value in it, but lots of protein and fiber in those guys. I also like to stock my pantry with some lentils and beans. These guys take a little bit of time to cook, so having an Instapot on hand is really important. You can cook them up within 45 to 50 minutes. But having beans and lentils are a great staple to have. You can toss them in soups and stews. You can have them as a side dish or your main dish. So they're really nice to have on hand in your pantry. And then grains. I like to have a lot of different grains. Right here I happen to have farro. And as you can note, I put a lot of my staples that I can in jars just so it's easy to see what you have and help you make those decisions when it comes time to cook something. I sometimes put the instructions in them as well and what they are so I don't get them mixed up with other grains and I know what I'm cooking. It's always helpful. For another snack to have on hand other than my crackers, I like to have popcorn. I do it the old traditional way on top of the stove. I like to use olive oil in it, but you can use other oils as well. But that's a great healthy snack. And then nuts and seeds. These guys are really important to have as a staple, super healthy, jam-packed, full of fiber and unsaturated fats. And if you're an athlete, those unsaturated fats are really going to help you in terms of bringing down inflammation with post-exercise. But they're healthy for everybody as well. Different nuts and seeds I think are important to have in your pantry. So for instance, pumpkin seeds are high in magnesium, whereas sunflower seeds are high in vitamin E. Almonds are high in calcium and walnuts are high in omega-3s. So having a variety is important to get a lot of different nutrients. Dried fruit I like to have on hand, especially when I run out of some fresh fruit over here. This, for instance, is unsulfured dried apricots. So these guys are actually nice to throw in your oats or on top of salads or just alone, really high in potassium and vitamin A. Happen to be obsessed with nut butters, so peanut, almond butter, whatever. Those are great to have. They fill you up. Delicious inside of steel cut oats, so if you want to stay full for a long time, toss some of this in your steel cut oats on top of fruit, or of course the traditional PB&J. Love to have nut butters in my pantry as well. And then your canned and your jarred goods. These are nice to have on hand. These are typically your quick, fast go-tos. I cook a lot with beans, so I like to have beans on hand. Again, you can toss in salads or stews, what have you, soups. I do a lot of Italian flair type of Mexican flair cooking, so having diced tomatoes is key for staples inside of my pantry. Along with sun-dried tomatoes and olives, I cook a lot with those guys. I like to also have broths on hand, in particular vegetable broth, really great inside of your grains or just in some of the sauces. And then when you're super lazy and you want to cook up some pasta really quick, you can take some of this, dress it up with some onions and garlic and olives, and then if you toss in some lentils, you'll kind of get that ground beef feel. And you can of course get your lentils already steamed and cooked. And then with the grains, you can also get pouch grains. So those are even quicker than what I have here. And then if you're someone that consumes lean proteins, having some tuna or salmon canned is kind of a nice way of getting some extra protein. Let's hop over real quick to my pantry. Just wanted to show you how I have it organized. Obviously, you organize it in the way that's going to work for you. We've got our supplements, alcohol in moderation, people, and we've got our breakfast foods, baking goods, oils and vinegars, spices, teas and coffee. This right here is where your foundation lies. This is where you're going to get your ideas of what to cook and where you can put a lot of your healthy staples, and then your quick, fast go-to foods that are in your cans and your jars. So hopefully that was helpful for you guys. I gave you some good healthy tips, hopefully for all of you, and I hope you all stay safe and healthy. See you later.